boys and girls. I am wearing my Duranish t-shirt to do our math today. Okay, so we have the division of the day. We have 4,152, and you're going to divide it by 32. You're going to use the garage method to solve your problem. Once you find the quotient, don't forget to put it in the label part. Then you're going to check your answer using multiplication algorithm. And finally, you're going to create a story problem and be very, very creative. All right, so we're going to go ahead and review some terms we had this year when we were working on River Exchange Program, okay? So the first word we're going to review is range. Now remember, range is the difference between the least and the greatest number. Second, you got the median. Median is when you compile all your data in order from least to greatest. Then you're going to pick the middle number, and the middle number is the median. Third, mode. Mode is the number that occurs often in a series. Okay, so we have some data here. Monday through Sunday, we have shoes sold on each day. We're going to go ahead and find the range of the numbers of pairs of shoes sold. All right, so remember the range is the greatest number. So we're looking for the greatest number first. And it looks like it's 35. So we're going to go ahead and write 35. And we're going to subtract it from the least. And it looks like the least is 18. So let me go ahead and we're going to find the difference of this problem. All right, so remember we cannot take away 8 from 5, so we're going to have to borrow from the 3. We'll cross it out. And we're going to go ahead and put a 10 in the ones place. So now you're going to be working with 15 instead of 5. So when you subtract 8 from 15, that'll give you 7. And then when you subtract 1 from 2, that'll give you 17. And that is the range of this data. All right, so the median number. Remember, we're going to go ahead and put our numbers in order from least to greatest. So I've got 18, 21, 24, 26. Looks like we have 29 twice. And our next number will be 35. Let me make sure I got all my data. Let's see, I have 7 days. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I have 7 pieces of data. So I'm going to go ahead and find the median number. So I'm going to go from left to right. We'll match the pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the median number would be 26. So I'm going to go ahead and circle 26. That is the median number of the pairs of shoes sold. All right, so remember the mode is the number that occurs. And using the same piece of data up at the top, you can see that 29 occurred a couple of times. So 29 is my mode. All right, so let's go ahead and do a couple of problems, and then I'm going to let you do the rest on your own, okay? All right, so we're going to start off with the range. And it looks like 10 is the greatest. Going to subtract it by the least, which would be 2. And so my range would be 8. All right, the median number. I'm going to go ahead and put these numbers in order. Don't forget, if a number is repeated, you still have to write it because that is a piece of the data. Okay, so as you're looking at your data, let's go ahead and go from left to right and match the pairs. Okay, so that's matched. This is matched. So as you can see, the median number would be the 5. It's the middle number. All right, let's go ahead and play with the mode now. What number occurred? Often that was 5. Okay. Let's go ahead and do one more, and then I'll let you practice the other ones on your own. Okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and play with problem 2. It looks like we have 25 as the greatest, and the least is 2. Giving you a difference of 23 for the range. So let me go ahead and place this data in order. 2, 6, we've got 8, 9. Oopsie daisy, I forgot the 4, so you want to make sure you're including the 4. And it looks like 25. All right, here we go. We're going to match from left to right. Okay, partner, forget the 4, partner, and bam, 8 is the medium number. It's the middle number. Perfect. All right, what number occurred? And it looks like we can see 9. All right, pretty simple. So I'm going to let you practice these problems by yourself. It's really important. Okay. So you can practice the range, the median, and the mode utilizing this piece of data. And as you can see, we have numbers from dollars to millimeters to meters to percentages and even inches. So have fun playing with the mode, the range, and the median. Okay. So boys and girls, we're going to go ahead and review area, parameter, and volume. So let me get that piece up here. All right. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the formulas. So remember area. Area is when you're multiplying length times width. And parameter is when you're adding the length plus the width, length plus width. And then the volume, the formula for volume is length times width times height. And when we're talking about volume, we're going to be talking about the 1 cubic centimeters. On here on the side, I made a little illustration. So you can see on each side, it equals 1 centimeter. That's why it's called 1 cubic centimeters. And when you see the power of 3, for example, that's where I get my 3. Because you're multiplying the length times the width times the height. All right, so let's go ahead and begin playing with volume. So we'll start off with this one. The length, of course, is 5 centimeters. And you're going to go ahead and multiply it with the width, which would be 3. And then finally the height, which is 4. So 5 times 3 is 15. Times 4, and that would give you 60 centimeters. All right, let's go on to this next problem. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just squat so I can write better. All right, so the length is 4. You're going to multiply it with the width. The width would be 2. And lastly, the height is 3. So 4 times 2 is 8. times the height, which would give you 24 centimeters. All right, we've got 3 more to go. Pretty neat. Okay, here we go. We're trying to find the volume of each of these shapes. All right, so we're going to start off with 5. 5 is the length. You're going to multiply the width. Side of it is 3. And then the height would be 1 centimeter. 5 times 3, 15 times 1. And your answer would be 15 centimeters. Cubic centimeters. All right. 6 is our length. We're going to multiply it by the width. And that is 2 centimeters. And then finally, you're going to multiply it with the height, which is 5. All right, class. Remember, 6 times 2 is 12. And you're multiplying it by 5 of the height, giving you an answer of 60 cubic centimeters. All right, one more problem to go, and then I'm going to let you practice 5 on your own. I gave you the dimensions on the side. So L for length, W for width, and then height, H for height, and then V, you're trying to find the volume. So you're going to do the same type of computation that we did here on the side. Okay, and you have 5 to practice on your own. All right, last one. The width, 7 centimeters. You're multiplying it by 3 centimeters. And then 5 is the height. Remember, 7 times 3 is 21. You're multiplying it by 5. And your final answer for this volume of the shape would be 105 cubic centimeters. And that's why it's so important to know your facts. So important because you're constantly using it in lots of different situations in math. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just practice for fun a decompose shape. Okay? And then I'll go ahead and go back and let you see that in case you guys and girls didn't get to see the data. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this. And we're just going to practice some decomposed figures, okay? Utilizing the information that we just talked about. Okay, so remember, volume is length times width times height. You're always welcome to put that up somewhere on your paper so you don't forget that you have to multiply those 3 types of dimensions. Okay, so on this one, it's real challenging to see, but there's 2 different shapes. So we're going to practice this one together, and then on this one, I'm going to let you do on your own. Okay? These are called decomposed figures. All right, so if I were to cover this part, okay, because we're just looking at this shape here. Okay, I'm just going to go over it in green so you can see. Sometimes it's really challenging to see. We have 2 figures within a figure. I'm just going to go ahead, go over it so you can see what we're looking at. If you were to see, this would be the background. Okay, so remember we have hot length. So the length of the shape would be, and I'm just talking about this shape here. Okay, that would be 1, 2, so that'll be 2 cubic centimeters. I'm just talking about this shape here. I'm going to multiply it by the width, which is the side, and that would be 1, 2. And the height, as you can see, would be 1, 2. Okay. So when you multiply 2 and 2, that would give you 4. multiply by the height. So this figurine of a volume would be a cubic centimeters. Now you're going to go ahead and find the volume of this figurine. All right, and then you're going to add it to this volume. All right, so the length of this one would be 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put my answer down below. And this piece on the side, of course, is the width, and that's 1 cubic centimeter. And the height, put the height right here so you can see with black, that's only 1 cubic centimeter. Your final answer would be 3 cubic centimeters. You're going to get this volume and this volume of this different figure, and you're going to add them together to find the total of the volume. Giving you 11 cubic centimeter total. All right, so I want you to challenge yourself, practice this one on your own. Let me know what your answers are on Class JoJo, and I'll share them with you. And I will talk to you soon. Have fun. Bye.